Hi, this is Monica Ramirez, and I will be talking about my literature review for my curriculum intervention. The first question I'm going to answer is, why is this intervention necessary? My curriculum analysis established that more opportunities to create projects for outside audiences and opportunities for collaboration are needed at my school. These are 21st century skills that align with the Common Core standards and the National Council for Social Studies framework. My students are incarcerated at-risk youth, and they need opportunities to critically think and problem solve while working collaboratively in a positive manner. Project-based learning will help them academically and socially. I intend to help my students be successful when they graduate or return to their home districts when they are released from juvenile hall. What does the research say? Well, I found articles that fall into 4 categories, as you can see on my poplet. I intend to include why project-based learning is beneficial for students. I also will include best practices for teachers and school project-based learning implementation. I would like to include working with incarcerated students and project-based learning, but I only found one article on incarcerated girls. Therefore, I switched my topics to include at-risk or diverse learners. My last category is on assessing PBL, and I found 2 articles. So I'll go ahead and look at the chart in detail. Project-based learning is in the middle. For teachers and school support regarding PBL, I found an article titled School Support and Teacher Motivation to Implement PBL, a team teaching model for practicing PBL in high school, collaboration between computer and subject teachers, teacher perspectives and experiences using project-based learning with exceptional and diverse learners. Then I'll go down here. Project-based learning and at-risk youth. I found 3 articles: collaboration, intergroup conflict, and social skills in project-based learning, exploring contributions of project-based learning to health and well-being in secondary education, and a case study of negotiating a dialogic curriculum with incarcerated girls. For assessing PBL, I found 2 articles: implementation and assessment of project-based learning in a flexible environment, using formative assessment in problem and project-based learning. And then I'll go over here and basically, what are the benefits of project-based learning? 3 articles: the effects using project-based learning in social studies education to students' attitudes towards social studies courses, experiential education through project-based learning, enacting problem-posing education through project-based learning. So I've read 2 articles and I've made notes on them, and I'm going to include my findings for those 2 articles. The first one is on school support and teacher motivation to implement project-based learning. So that's the one that's up here on the top. And this was a correlational study done in Hong Kong. The researchers focused on 3 dimensions of the self-determination theory. They found that social environments, schools, can support teacher motivation and implementation of project-based learning by supporting teachers' needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness. The researchers acknowledged that it takes drastic changes for teachers to change the way they are accustomed to teaching. Schools that support teachers with professional development and peer collaboration opportunities tend to have teachers who are motivated to implement and sustain PBL. Class size, workload allocation, and financial resources also directly impact teachers' attitudes. The next article I read was on negotiating a dialogic curriculum with incarcerated girls, which is down here under project-based learning and at-risk youth. So this study found that the restrictions placed by the correctional facilities affected the girls' abilities to interact and build relationships with each other and the teachers. A purpose of correctional education is to reduce recidivism. However, to reduce recidivism and change the behavior of incarcerated youth, schools need to include opportunities for teachers and students to build positive relationships. One way to do this is to acknowledge what students bring with them into the classroom. What types of experiences have they had, and how can teachers build on those experiences? An outdoor environmental education program that integrated conflict resolution was implemented. It included community building and the process of taking personal responsibility for actions and consequences. The lessons were taught in a non-lecture format and drew upon Paulo Freire's ideas that teachers should act as facilitators, and the participants are teaching the lesson. The girls learned to respect others and to improve their listening skills. They also learned how to communicate more effectively with each other. The program was a success, so the principal wanted the program to continue in other correctional schools. So this article shows the positive effects that can happen when project-based learning activities are included in correctional facility schools, where the students become the teachers and they take responsibility for their own learning. What do I need to find? I would appreciate any ideas or articles that discuss project-based learning and incarcerated students. I did not find much when researching articles from the Titan Library. How is the research shaping my ideas for my intervention? I pretty much can focus on my original ideas for my intervention proposal. The only idea I would like to strengthen is project-based learning and incarcerated students, but I am willing to modify my research to at-risk youth. And this is my literature review for session 12 and my discussion on what I found so far. I hope you enjoy watching it, and if you have any questions, please post them on Titanium and I will be sure to answer them. Or if you have any suggestions for my intervention. Thank you.